The way that she controls the game and play makes and gets everybody involved, but also, the step backs and her shot. She reminds me a lot of Luka in the sense of like they both can control the game so well.
These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they tried. People believe what we say on television. Just because people don't like you or your personality, they can't get on TV and slander you. It's just total bullshit.
Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty girls.
Caitlin Clark has made her mark in the WNBA. Her electrifying style of play is revolutionizing the game and drawing more attention than the league has ever seen. But her impact isn't just confined to the WNBA, it's reaching the NBA, where stars are praising her. With Caitlin's meteoric rise, the spotlight has brought both admiration and animosity. Fame doesn't just attract cheers, it draws critics and has even created a lot of WNBA bullies. The bigger your name gets, the more others want to see you fall. Everyone has something to say about Caitlin Clark, and not all of it is positive. But here's the twist. NBA stars aren't staying silent. They've faced the pressure, and now they're speaking out in defense of Caitlin against these WNBA players that hate on her. What do the biggest names in the NBA have to say in support for Caitlin? Stick around as we hear the praise, advice, and words of support from those who know what it takes to rise above the noise. Caitlin Clark's presence is already transforming the Indiana Fever. It's only a matter of time before they become a force. Clark isn't used to losing, and once the Fever adds the right pieces, nothing will stop them. Her winning mentality has been evident since her college days, and it's why WNBA arenas are packed every time she takes the court. Fans have followed her journey since Iowa, and among those admirers is NBA star Kobe White. The enthusiasm Kobe White has for Caitlin is unmistakable. He had some incredible things to say about her that might just surprise you. Throughout her rookie season, Kobe White has been one of her biggest supporters. And honestly, who wouldn't be? With her flashy highlights and record-breaking performances, Caitlin Clark has captivated everyone, including NBA players who recognize greatness when they see it.
Supporting Caitlin Clark for a while and what she's been doing for the games. This is my first time seeing him in person, so it's been dope.
What was it like when you saw her hit that three?
Which one? The one that broke the record was crazy. I think she put up 2 feet beyond half court, so for me to see it in person, she's legit. She's the best, so she's the GOAT. So her skill set far exceeds everyone else's.
Patrick Beverley has also commented on Caitlin Clark. He highlighted that everything that happens with Clark pulls more eyes than it would for any other WNBA player. This, of course, includes the Patrick Beverley-esque physical antics of her opponents. She has been getting her fair share of hard fouls and questionably dirty plays, not unlike the ones Beverley has done towards NBA superstars. Though Beverley is quick to praise Caitlin Clark for the dominance she has over the WNBA now, he noted that the extra attention is great for the league as well. On Gilbert Arenas' podcast, Beverley also shared that he has done practices with WNBA players and was impressed with their skill. This, of course, applies especially for Caitlin Clark. She has enough skill to lead to her dominance despite not having the outstanding physical attributes that other greats do.
This woman, Caitlin Clark, she's not the tallest. She doesn't have a crazy frame that, but she got women's basketball on lock right now. And she hasn't really been in a while, and a lot of people haven't seen a lot of it. Anything that happens with her is going to be magnified, right? Which is great for the WNBA.
Another admirer of Caitlin Clark is the European wonder boy, Luka Doncic. Many have compared Luka to Clark because of the way they both impose their will on the game offensively and because of their rapid rise as the face of their corresponding league. Luka is known to be a fierce competitor who trash talks other players constantly and psychotically goes out to prove just how much better he is than anyone else. That's what makes his quote all the more astounding. He goes out of his way to praise Clark as another legend of the game, and even as someone better than him at shooting. That's some high praise for one of the most self-confident jump shooters out there right now.
It's a woman with Steph Curry. She can shoot it better than me.
Caitlin Clark seems to be following the same path that Luka laid out as the notable prodigy turned superstar. The first step in that path is being very nearly the unanimous Rookie of the Year, which both Luka and Caitlin have accomplished now. Luka was only off by 2 votes, and Caitlin was off by just 1. It was clear as day from the start that these two would be running the league someday. Luka has fulfilled his potential and has reached previously untouched heights of offensive output. It's very likely that Caitlin will be doing the same very soon.
Caitlin, congratulations on an amazing season. Rookie of the Year is a big honor. You deserve it. Congratulations.
Caitlin has also been compared to Tyrese Haliburton. The similarities go a long way. Both of them are special three-point shooters. Both of them use this ability to make plays for their teammates. Their similar play style is obvious, but they also seem to be playing in similar contexts. Both of them are young stars who have quickly made a name for themselves after being put into the basketball-obsessed state of Indiana. It's no wonder that the press immediately got Haliburton's take on Clark coming into his city and becoming a basketball comrade in the same organization.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for her to be here. I think it brings a lot of excitement to the city. You know, a city with a lot of young talent already as it is, and adding her, you know, she's one of the faces of women's basketball, and for her to be here and under the same roof, you know, I think is really exciting for me, and I think a lot of people in our organization. And just look forward to, you know, watching her grow throughout the process, watching her get better. Looking forward to actually being able to cheer for her now. You know, now she's with the good guys.
So far, the two have really hit it off. They constantly watch each other's games and have become close friends. Tyrese talks about watching more and more WNBA games because of his newfound interest in following Clark and the Indiana Fever as they keep improving. Hopefully, they develop into a contending team as fast as Tyrese Haliburton did with the Indiana Pacers, too.
And it's been really cool to see her growth this last year, and the Fever as a whole, to see Kelsey get some playoff experience, and just the whole group, Aaliyah, the whole group. Just really cool to follow the team, and it's unfortunate that they lost, but they're a young group. They'll be back for success, and now locked in, watching more WNBA.
And just when you thought it couldn't get more interesting, Shaquille O'Neal took his praise to another level. On Angel Reese's podcast, Shaq didn't hold back as he spoke highly of Caitlin, right in front of her biggest hater. It was a powerful moment, an NBA legend backing Caitlin Clark in the most unexpected of places. What Shaq had to say left no doubt. Caitlin is special, and even her harshest critics couldn't ignore it. Get ready to hear it straight from the Big Diesel himself.
And I was a hater because, I'm down. She was like, she's not going to hit that shot, and bam, like, damn, she's not going to hit that shot, man. Like, if I say 10 times you're not going to hit the shot and you hit the shot, that means you're the truth.
The controversies and immense pressure on Caitlin could make many other players falter. So, Lakers star Anthony Davis applauds Clark for how well she's handled it all. We know that Davis was one of the highest profile prospects coming into the league as well. He has also watched an even more hyped prospect in his longtime friend and teammate, LeBron James. Davis knows how this story goes by now. He knows how difficult it all is. The nonstop criticism, the media narratives, the leap in physicality as a rookie. After what he's seen from Clark so far, it's no surprise that he's optimistic about her future success. She's handled all the hurdles with tenacity and grace.
I think she handles all the criticism and everything that's going on, fairly well. She never let nothing knock her off her square, man. I just saw the interview when she was and they asked her about not being on the Olympic team.
What a great answer she gave.
Great answer. I think she'll be fine, and all the stuff about the physicality, and it comes with the league.
It comes with it, yeah.
No, you're a rookie.
You've heard it a lot by now, but physicality truly has recently been a hot topic of discussion with the WNBA and Caitlin Clark especially. The new eyes on the WNBA also lead to plenty of comparisons with the NBA since it has been the more familiar product. NBA champion Michael Porter Jr. has even speculated how Caitlin would fare in the NBA. In his podcast, he emphasizes the inherent difference in physicality between the NBA and the WNBA. His statements about Caitlin Clark aren't the most positive, but the fact that she's even being put in this discussion is a testament to her greatness.
Caitlin's cold. That's the one girl that I was like, okay, if she was in an NBA game, on defense, she would get cooked. Offensively, she'll knock down some corner threes or a swing three. She actually would, because she can shoot from that far,
Now on to someone who will be way more empathetic to Caitlin's situation. There is really no better place for her to receive praise and advice than LeBron James. As we all know, LeBron was possibly the most hyped prospect of all time. He was drafted straight out of high school while already having speculations about him becoming the GOAT. Caitlin Clark's massive league-changing hype can really only be compared to him at this point. What comes with that fame, of course, is all of the hate. LeBron has grown to be one of the most hated athletes during his career because of the expectations he had set. He's no stranger to the media spinning narratives about every little thing he does. He's had that same target on his back that Caitlin has where opposing players play even harder against them to try to knock them off of their pedestal. None of that stopped LeBron from achieving greatness. It's a rare feat indeed. No player in the WNBA or NBA has been able to live up to expectations this huge. It's nice to know that LeBron is supportive of Caitlin Clark and has voiced out some guidance addressed directly to her. Much of his advice is about listening to the advice of others as well. Caitlin has expressed being a student of the game for the WNBA, so it seems like she has a good head on her shoulders on this part. You have to remain humble and focused in order to survive as an iconic athlete as the years go by. There's no better example than LeBron himself. If you believe LeBron can truly predict the future, then you best believe Caitlin Clark is going to do great. Hopefully this time around, haters will learn to just appreciate the greatness of the next generational basketball talent.
And my advice to anyone that comes in with this, this level of like notoriety, out of this world expectation, whatever the case may be, I just think it's all about having, be a horse, man. The Kentucky Derby, put your blinders on, go to work, show up to work, punch your clock in, prepare yourself, work on your game, work on your craft, kind of keep your mouth shut, and just learn from the vets. When they ask, you voice your opinion if they want your opinion, man, early on, because everybody is looking for you to say anything and they're going to splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. I'm rooting for Caitlin because I've been in that seat before. I've walked that road before. I hope she kills. I hope Aaliyah Boston does amazing. I hope they do great.
Caitlin is not all about the hype and notoriety, though. Her popularity is just an outcome of her prodigious basketball ability. After she had played one of her best games, star point guard Trey Young couldn't help but give her flowers. Trey Young and Caitlin have a lot of similarities in how they play the game. They don't rely on being the biggest or strongest athlete on the court, but they dominate the game with exceptional skill in shot creation and playmaking. They conduct the offense of their team by leveraging scoring threats in multiple forms. The most extraordinary of these is their long-range shooting, which truly opens up the floor for their teammates and attacks at the rim. Because of this similarity in their approach, Trey was able to break down schematically just how Caitlin Clark is able to have these scoring outbursts. This analysis shows the experience of Trey at the point guard position, but also the phenomenal basketball IQ that Caitlin Clark already has at such a young age. She has that same ability to dissect defenses and make the right reads that all of the all-time great guards have.
I mean, it's crazy. Like 40 and 12, like people don't understand. Like that's not easy. Like scoring and then getting everybody involved. Like what she's doing is unbelievable. And then she was using her hang dribble just to read if she was gonna be able to blow by her defender or not. And she was just doing step backs and side steps and dribbling in the lane, dribbling back out, and then shooting threes. But it started with her getting to the basket and just getting some layups, getting easy ones, getting some and ones to start the game. Like you could tell that she had a plan on what she was doing all night.
Steph Curry himself had to chime in on Caitlin Clark. After all, Luka isn't the only one who has been comparing Caitlin to Curry. She's been donning the female Steph Curry label since college, and it's not hard to see why. Her long-range three-point shooting is a dead giveaway already. There's been comparisons of Steph Curry's shooting form with the similar form of Caitlin Clark. They both have that blindingly quick release time that stuns defenders, but their games have way more to it than just that weapon. Steph himself has observed that special aspect from Caitlin Clark. To be like Steph, you don't just have to have the skill to shoot like Steph. You need to perform. Turn the game into a show for the crowd. You also have to have more to your game than that. Find ways to make your team better and affect the game even when the ball isn't in your hands. That's what separates Steph's greatness from all the other guards that have been practicing their three-point shot. It's no wonder why people have asked Steph a lot about Caitlin Clark, and it's cool that Steph has been outspoken with his praise.
I saw somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine. You can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair. Like, she's a performer. It's crazy, though, just because her shot is like that. It's at that level. If you really watch, like, her floor game is as impressive. So it's kind of the total package. And her being the French breaking that record and the amount of attention that she has gained over the course of these last couple of years. Every building she goes into, there's a different energy. Like, it's great for her, great for women's basketball.
Steph represented the NBA during a landmark three-point shootout with the WNBA's T. It was a thrilling matchup that was close until the end, with Steph edging out the win. Maybe now that NBA versus WNBA three-point shootouts have been established, Caitlin Clark could have a shot at going toe-to-toe with her idol too. She has declined to join the three-point contest so far, but is open to it in the future, she says. I know all of our fingers are crossed that she does. When you hear the word controversy regarding the NBA, there's fewer names that pop up first than Draymond Green. He is no stranger to letting people know about his opinions, so it's no surprise that he's chimed in on Caitlin Clark on his podcast. Draymond Green has been somewhat of a representative of the enforcer role in the NBA, players that are there to get physical, bully opponents, and protect their teammates. This makes him insightful to hear from regarding the controversies about WNBA players being very physical with Caitlin Clark. It is somewhat of a clear pattern. Rookie hazing in basketball has always existed, but it is magnified if you are the most popular rookie in your league's history. Green is quick to acknowledge the greatness of Caitlin Clark, but has also redirected attention to more greats that should be appreciated way more. In his podcast, he lists down many names of the previous WNBA greats throughout the years, who have been laying the groundwork for what the league is today. They've opened the door so Caitlin could walk in and blow the roof off the WNBA building as its new star. This, in the end, is a great thing to witness, according to Green, though we should never forget those who started the movement.
I think, like you said, Caitlin's been great, but I've heard no one say Caitlin got the opportunity to be this because of all the sweat of these women that came before her. You know, so like it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Like Caitlin has 1,000% brought uptick in popularity to the league, which is great.
Finally, we have Victor Wembanyama. He is arguably the most similar player to Clark, not in play style, but in the specific context they've entered the league in. Wemby has been the most hyped up prospect in the NBA for decades. That is the same for Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. Wembanyama did not go to college but made a gigantic name for himself at his French league overseas. It seems that Caitlin Clark did the same thing at the University of Iowa, because when Victor Wembanyama was asked about his favorite WNBA player, he only had one answer. She's the sole player he was deeply impressed by in college, male or female.
When she was in college, the only college player that I was really in awe of the game, you know. I'm saying men and women's college basketball, she's probably the most impressive I've seen.
The expectations for both of these players were huge. Most people have been following their games even before they played in the NBA and WNBA. That's because they both have game-breaking aspects that absolutely make them must-watch TV. Caitlin's unparalleled shooting ability and Victor Wembanyama's unbelievable length made their respective leagues have a race to the bottom for the chance to draft them as the #1 pick. Caitlin entered the WNBA last season, while Victor entered the NBA last season as well. Both immediately shook their leagues by each putting up one of the greatest rookie seasons we've ever seen. Similarly, they both are put into a difficult situation. There's a reason their respective team was able to draft them at #1 after all. Despite putting up some crazy numbers, their overall team isn't going to be competitive just yet. The fate of their team is resting squarely on their shoulders. They've already been able to prove that they're the new face of their franchise. Yet everyone knows they can do way better than that. Very soon, they'll be the face of their league. It's acknowledged that in both their cases, they have the potential to end up staking their claim as the greatest player in their league's history. That's why Caitlin Clark's impact has reached beyond just the WNBA now. The biggest NBA stars have to chime in on what she's doing. Even people who had never watched the WNBA before now have plenty to say about the league. Now that the stadiums are packed, we get to hear way more praise and criticism from way more people. How about you? What are your thoughts on the recent WNBA boom carried by Caitlin Clark? Do you agree with what these NBA players have been saying about her? Let us hear it in the comments below. There's definitely more to come in the career of Caitlin Clark. Let's hope she continues to blow our minds and follow this upward trajectory into the bright future of the WNBA.